Hi everybody, welcome to the 50-somethings.
We're living life to the fullest and practicing for retirement. Okay, one of the first things, if not the first thing you want to do, is turn off the water supply to your camper or your rig. I actually happen to put a ball check valve on mine that gives me that 90-degree inlet for my hose, and it's worked out really well. I've been using it now for almost a year. Really do think it matters. You don't put that strain on your hose or anything. Then the next thing you want to do is relieve the pressure on your lines, because the lines remain pressured even though you do turn off the water at the rig itself. I'm going to go ahead and remove these doors, also give me a little bit of extra room to work. And I think I'm also going to remove this panel and this panel, and there's actually a little bit more room in there. And to get a shot up in there, I'm going to be removing that faucet in a pretty bit tight spot. This is the original faucet. We just figured we'd leave it there and get some use out of it before we actually, decided to upgrade, and now it's time to upgrade. Works just fine. We just wanted something different. The reason I recommend removing the hinges at the door, most RVs, the doors are actually solid wood. The actual cabinets and everything are wrapped, and it's more of a compressed wood or particle board type assembly. So remove the screws at the frame, it's a good chance you won't get them back in tight. But removing them out of the door, which is actually wood, you won't have a problem. Now I'm going to remove these side panels and more than likely these wood strips, because like I said, we can get a lot more room from out of the underside of this cabinet by removing those panels. And there's the other panel, and I see my wife's little case fell down in there, and as you can see, there's a lot of debris in there because they aren't really known for cleaning. And now I just gotta maneuver myself up in there and remove the hot and cold PEX lines and the jam nuts. I'd recommend laying a towel down because you are going to get water leakage simply for the water that's a little bit that may still be in the PEX lines, but this will catch anything that you have. You have your lines connecting to the stem of the old faucet, and they're all plastic and fairly hand tight, and I do have some leakage. It'll fall out of the way. And then you have a jam nut on either one of the stems coming off the old faucet that I'll take loose, which this one wasn't that tight, so I'll take it. All this hardware is plastic, so if you are going to change them, I highly recommend that you do not over tighten it. Tighten it up, finger tight, give it maybe a quarter turn, and then check for leakage. Turn the water back on and turn your faucets on and check it after you get the new one installed. So as you can see, once you get that disconnected at the bottom, simply comes out, and you got a little cleaning to do. Laura and I picked this faucet up on Amazon Black Friday, actually. That's why we decided to go ahead and buy everything and do this little makeover of the RV bathroom. Gives it a little more style. Actually has brass instead of plastic, and it's made out of metal. Comes with directions, which I've already went over and looked at. And like I was saying, one of the things you want to be aware of is just ensure you don't over tighten it, because that can cause leaks, especially going with plastic connections up to metal, or in this case brass. So let's see how this is going to look. Now, setting it up in the same configuration, you just drop it down, and just to ensure, I think that'll look just fine. You should have a gasket that comes with this. That's going to go over your existing portholes. Then you drop it down in there, and that's going to give you your water seal. So now all I have to do is hook up the bottom again in reverse order. Get yourself maneuvered up in here. Thread on your new jam nuts. where they just stop turning and give them a quarter to a half turn. Then hook up your water lines. There is a little tension on these PEX lines, so you want to be careful not to cross thread, because that's where you're going to create leaks. Once you get them threaded on, and what you didn't see was off camera, it took me about 5 minutes to get these things lined up. They should go up very easy, and again, you take them up till they stop, give about a quarter turn. I'll go out and turn the water back on, pressurize the system, and see if we have any leaks. I don't see any leaks, and it looks much better. And you might want to periodically just look up under here to make sure. I'll put down some diapers to catch any moisture, but I do believe we're just fine. And using existing hardware, I'll put it right back in the same holes, and that way my latches and everything will line up just as they did before. Moving on to the next project. One of the first things we did was just put up these little towel hooks. Makes a world of a difference on where to hang your towel. One of the other mods we did was we put a soft closing residential toilet top on our porcelain toilet. They come with those little cheap plastic ones. They don't last very long. And these here, I mean, I just love them. We picked this up, just measured them really well. I didn't show the installation because I wouldn't want to see somebody installing the toilet bowl anyway, so I didn't do it. But they do work out really well, and it makes it so much more stable. I'll say it that way. But as you can see, it does make it look a lot better, and it is a cheap upgrade. Okay, the next step in this little bathroom upgrade is I'm gonna remove the stock shower spigots and shower head, and I'm going to install for my faucet another Amazon Black Friday special. We didn't get sponsored by any of these products. We bought everything off of Amazon on Black Friday. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to trim the ceiling around the housing with a razor blade, ever so slightly. And then remove the hardware and lean the box back ever so slightly, because I don't know how much slack I have. I doubt there's that much. But first I'm going to go ahead and remove the line. And I have already turned the water all to the rig, relieved all my pressure. So next step, let's remove this faucet. So first I'm just going to loosen all my hardware and get it out. Since I've already cut the ceiling around, I should be able to apply a little bit of pressure, and you see it just pop free, and just pull it back just a little bit, and you can see I don't have much room there. Let's see if I can get this ceiling away. You want to remove all the old sealant because you're going to have to replace that. You can see there I do have same style connections, and loosen your lines. Once you get those lines removed, you can go ahead and pull your box off. And as you can see, I use some strings, just a tip, to wrap around my cold and my hot lines, and just ran them up and tied them off, because the last thing you want to do is drop that water line down inside that wall. Then of course you want to get all the old sealant off of the wall itself. And once you get that, then you remove the old housing from the box, and just like with the faucet, it's just held in there with some plastic jam nuts. Just FYI, make sure you know which way your pipe connection is. Mine was facing down, so I'll put the new one facing down. Clean this up really nice. Get some of that grime out of there so that the adhesive will stick. Ain't gonna get too many chances to clean your shower box where everything's mounting up to it for your faucet. So, and once it's nice and clean, you can install your new faucet. Okay, when you install your new jam nuts, just be aware of the style that you have. The one that I have actually did not come with a full face gasket for the front. It actually came with 2 O-rings or rubber washers, and then you install a white air washer, and then you screw down the jam nut. And this is what it looks like when you get it finished. You have your jam nuts tightened down, to contact, 1/4 inch turn, and then you tighten the screw head to secure everything down and ensure everything's lined up properly. Hot's on the left, cold's on the right. And just like with your sink faucet, just make sure that you have a really nice start when you're applying or installing these fittings, and get it tight, 1/4 turn. Same for the opposite. Remove the holding apparatus for your shower head, and that's going to leave a couple holes in there. You're going to have to fill one of those holes in. And I'm just going to use some regular bathroom caulking and sealing. You want to make sure this is sealed up really good, because you don't want any water getting in behind this shower. Take your new mount that comes with your oxygenics, and you can line up whatever position you want. I'm going with a teardrop down, and I'm gonna have to drill a new hole for the upper one, but I do need to fill that hole to ensure I have no leaks. I'm gonna fill in the hole that's not gonna be used with some adhesive caulk, just to prevent it from allowing water to the backside of this wall, because moisture is not our friend. Water is definitely not our friend when it comes to these RVs. And once you get your position mounted, located, tighten it down. Again, snug, but not overly tight. And I'm gonna go back around the edge with a clear caulking, just to ensure that I get no leakage in here. And as you can see, you have your ball valve and your mount for your shower head that just screws back on. And once you get your shower head installed, you run your new cord down through your hanger, attach it to the bottom of your new faucet, go outside and turn your water back on, and check for leaks. You can do a test on your shower. I've already got the water turned on. Just reach over, turn my water on, and I can go through my different settings. There's 5 different settings on this particular head. I think I like that one the best. A lot more pressure. And I have no leaks around the faucet. We'll reinstall the box with the hardware and put some caulking sealant around the edges to ensure we get no leaks around the box itself. And this is the finished product with the sealant around the edges, prevent any leakage whatsoever. I do believe it is much more sticks and bricks style. I don't know, we'll say it's more like having your home shower. So guys, this is the finished product. As we all know, unless you have one of those 40-some foot RVs or fifth wheels, having your bathroom feel out like home or sticks and bricks is virtually impossible, because this is one of the areas they save space. But we can always install upgrades. It's going to make it feel like more like home anyway. There is 1 or 2 other items we're going to do in this bathroom that I'll show you later, because we're also going to do it to the kitchen area. That is really going to make it pop a little bit. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. And leave us some comments. Tell us what you know. What do you think about the upgrades? What do you think about, honestly, quality matters. It may not be top of the line components that I've installed, but it is 100% better than what was installed in the unit when we got it. And this is the typical RV bathroom. And it does feel more homey.